everybody, and welcome back to another 31 Days of Indie Horror. I'm your host, Jonathan Moody. I'm here with
Maddie Deering, hello.
Maddie Deering. So you've been on the show before, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, you've been
actually,
on
the first time I did a show with you was for what, Funhouse Massacre,
it. That's
and that was
right.
Indie
Yeah.
one did
That was
yeah,
31
whatever.
Days of Indie
31
Horror. That was
days
the
in Indie
first,
horror.
no, I
Yeah,
think
that
the
was my
first
first
one
time
you
on the
did,
show with you.
I think, wasn't the first one you did with me the one, the Shark Attack Sunday show, or is that after?
I think it was
Because
after
not
that.
Shark Attack Sunday.
Or-
What was the one we did? Man Eaters. We did Shark
Dark Swarm.
Swarm. But was that before or after? That might have been after
It
too.
must have been after. I think the first time I was coming back from a convention, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I could do this," and I was like, "Oh, I'm running late. Whatever. Got to reschedule," and you were cool about it. And I'm almost
I'm
sure it was House Massacre was the first time we did a show together.
I'm used to rescheduling all the time, so I don't.
Yeah,
I
I
used to
usually
get
try
really
not to, but things come up,
I used to get really upset about it. And we do 90s horror together. So 90s
Yes.
horror podcast. We have people who either say they can't make it or they reschedule or whatever, and then sometimes they never show up. Period. And that happens. I never get mad about it. I just know if it happened like two or three times, I'm not asking them again.
Well,
You
yeah,
know.
for sure.
I
Then you're
mean,
just like, okay, well,
yeah, if it's just a
uh,
once in a while thing of like, oh my
yeah,
God, life is hectic right now. Like I would never ask like Angel Bradford or like somebody like that who's constantly always on the run doing it. And like we used to ask her, but now we can't because she just can't do it.
yeah,
She
people
doesn't
get
have
busy.
time. Yeah. Um, I bet she wishes she had time, sometimes. But anywho, we're here to talk about Blood Lake, Attack of the Killer Lampreys. And not to be confused with the other Blood Lake that's also on Tubi, that is like a 1980s movie or something, I
The
think.
shot on video movie
Yeah. But
with that
not,
little dickhead brother or whatever.
I don't
So
remember. I never
funny.
seen
I can't
it.
think of his name, but it's so funny. He's got so many good one-liners.
Well, there you go. But not that one.
Like, you got to check it out. It's fun. Shot
We're
on
talking
video.
we're talking about the Attack of the Killer Lampreys one, which,
Yes, we are, which is equally as good.
yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, it's funny because like I've interviewed Zach Ward and James Cullen Pressick and Chris Ray, who does the camera work for this movie. Not camera work. I think he was like the first assistant director or something. He did something with it. I don't think I think Alexander Yellen or line producer, one of those two. Like he was
I don't know.
something. He worked on it as well. I watched it earlier today, and then I finished it tonight because I had like 13 minutes left of it. So I was like, yeah, let me just finish that later tonight. Um, it happens when you have two podcasts back to back almost, you're like,
It's crazy.
yeah. This movie stars well, it stars Shannon Doherty. She's like listed first. This, what this made me feel like, and this might be why you like it. It kind of has a Sharknado feel to it. Like
Oh, it definitely does.
with the casting. So we I just wish somebody as big as Ian Ziering was the star of it because the guy who played it was great. He did a fantastic job, but I don't think he was a star at that time. Like I don't know. Let me see. What was his name? I'm really
I
bad at
really
names.
don't even know who he was, so but I thought he
Yeah,
did.
he did a great job. Like I thought he did as you know, he handled himself well. His name is Jason Brooks.
Oh
And
yeah, I do recognize the name now.
you know what? He was on Days of Our Lives from 1993 to 1998. So that might be the star aspect of it,
Yeah, that sounds right. Just like Ian Ziering was in, 90210.
Right. Well, see, for me, 90210 is a bigger name than Days of Our Lives. Like I
I
don't
think it is. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
definitely.
I mean, just because even though Days of Our Lives has obviously been on longer and does have a huge following, Beverly Hills 90210 is sort of a thing that just I don't think they were thinking it would catch on as well as it did. In fact, I think it was not doing very well in the beginning, and then just all of a sudden it was word of mouth, and all of a sudden all these teenagers wanted to watch it,
Yeah.
and it became a big thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, this guy's been in a bunch of stuff. He's been on a lot of television shows like Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and um, Boston Legal and Jag. Speaking of older movies, NCIS, older shows, that aren't around anymore. But these are like in the early 2000s. Charmed. Ah, was he on
With Shannon
with
Doherty.
Shannon Doherty or
I
not?
know her from.
No, it was when Rose McGowan took over. So, um,
Well, still.
well, damn. But he got to work on the show that she was on.
Yeah,
Um,
Shannon was in for what, like 2, 3 seasons before they
oh,
got rid of her.
he was in the Captain America movie, like the 1990 one.
Oh
Like,
shit.
yeah, like the basically made for
Yeah.
it wasn't TV, but it
It
was
was like a Roger Corman movie.
yeah, no, but it was a Golden Globus movie, so it was canon. It was a canon
Yeah.
movie. But I remember that movie. He was just a extra in it, like a spa person, or whatever. But anywho, so Jason Brooks was great. I loved him. I also loved Shannon Doherty, obviously. And I didn't know the girl in it. The girl, the daughter, Sierra
Yeah.
Hannah, she blew up and became a Power Ranger after this movie.
Oh, did she?
Well, I mean, I didn't even I don't even know if the Power Rangers are still a thing anymore.
I
Um,
mean, yeah.
she was part of. I'm looking back at this. So she started on Power Rangers Mega Force Ultimate Team Power. That was a movie, and then or maybe she started on the show. Okay, she probably started on the show Power Rangers Mega Force, and then they did that movie. And then she was in Power Rangers Super Mega Force, the Legendary Battles movie. It was only 55 minutes. Sounds like a pilot or something, but and then she was in Power Rangers Ninja Steel, where I guess for one episode, I'm sure like a crossover kind of thing. I'm just like, how many Power Rangers are there?
Oh,
So
there's
ma-
so many. I
it's
don't know if
not
that's still going, but I remember like after I stopped watching after like Turbo, there was like Dino Rangers or something to do with dinosaurs, I think, and it just kept going.
not to be confused with Dino Sharks.
No,
I think
don't
that was a
confuse it.
cartoon, right?
Dino Shark is a really not so great movie.
I think
I
there
don't
was
know
a
about a TV show. I remember Street Sharks and
Street Sharks.
Jabberjaw.
Dino Shark was a very bad movie starring Eric Balfour. I'm sure we'll do it for you Shark Attack Sunday when we bring that back, whenever that
Yeah,
happens. We're saying we're recording this in July, so we have no idea. But we're hoping that we'll be bringing it back. It's just a matter of scheduling
yeah.
and just getting off our asses to do it, to do the show together. Because
And happy Shark Week, by the way, since you said it was
yeah,
July.
it is actually Shark Week, which
It is.
this isn't a shark movie, but this is like the
It's
close.
close.
It's very, and it's very Jaws, like
Yes.
so Christopher Lloyd, who we don't even have to mention what he's been in because he's been in everything.
Who?
Um,
Just kidding.
Christopher Lloyd, Christopher Lloyd,
Lloyd.
freaking Doc Brown, you know. So he was in, so yeah, he was in it as the mayor, and he was fantastic as the
Oh,
mayor.
he's great.
Yeah,
Especially his big scene
oh
where
yeah,
he's in the toilet. I don't
yeah.
know. Give it away.
Oh yeah,
Not that
fucking spoil
it,
it.
but
Because if you haven't, if you've watching this review, hopefully you've gone to Tubi and already watched the movie. Then come back and seen our review. Or have already seen it, so But yeah, the toilet scene is probably toilet lamprey, like,
yes.
that should have been the That should have been the picture, just like in Ghoulies, the lamprey coming out of the toilet. But unlike the Ghoulies, did you know that the original Ghoulies, they did not originally, and in the movie they didn't have that happen. The Ghoulies weren't coming
No,
out
I
of the
didn't.
toilet. Then they made a poster of a ghoulie coming out of the toilet before the movie tested or whatever. And then everybody saw that and got excited, went to see the movie and got pissed because there's no toilet ghoulie. So they had to actually reshoot a scene with the ghoulie coming out of the toilet just to make everybody happy, when they
That's
watch
hilarious.
it. That's great. That's
It's iconic.
fantastic marketing,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, that's how it is, man. If you're gonna have a movie about killer lampreys, they better be killer lampreys, they better be
Oh yeah.
badass.
And it's the only movie about lampreys I have ever seen. Probably the only one.
I think so. Because I
Killer or
mean,
not. Because I didn't really even know like what lampreys were, and I watched this movie. I was like, "What the fuck?" And yeah, they're terrifying looking.
you know what's even more terrifying that I'm surprised hasn't become a movie yet? Or maybe it has and I just don't know it. But anglerfish. You ever seen those things?
Not to my knowledge.
Look that shit up when after this is done.
I will.
Scariest, terrifying, scary fish you'll ever see. They live underwater, like in the bottom of the ocean, so you'll never really see them. But man, I had an idea. I better keep that shit to myself.
Well, yeah.
Because, you know, um, and we've talked about ideas like we love shark and fish,
Any
type.
creature feature, especially fish.
Yeah, anyone in the sea because Um, a lot of people don't know this about me because a lot of people are like, you don't like this, you don't like that. One of the things I do love is movies when they're out to sea, like pirates or uh anything like on a ship, you know. I don't know why. Maybe it's because that's never gonna be me, you know, and I'm just kind of drawn to just watching it, you know. But I love that kind of stuff. But most of because it's cheaper, I guess, I don't know. A lot of them have it where the fish become on land instead and stuff. And that's what this is about. Killer lamprey taking over the land and then ends up going in the pipes and stuff.
I love that they travel through the pipes like they do. It's ridiculous. It's the perfect kind of ridiculous. It's like a chef's kiss.
Yeah,
It's so good.
absolutely. And I
I
mean,
haven't seen series and it holds up so well.
yeah,
It's
you
so
hadn't
much.
seen it in a while and you were like,
No, I remember buying the DVD from Family Video probably like 2014 or so and made my friend watch it with me and we were both laughing because it was just so much fun. It's stupid fun.
well, it's funny
Like
because
Asylum should be. Sorry to interrupt you.
well, you're right. I love the Asylum, but I love old school Asylum, Sharknado Asylum, Beast of Bray Road Asylum,
Yeah,
all of that stuff,
yeah,
right? And then
exactly.
it became a little bit too serious and the so I've talked about this on multiple podcasts, I guess, or whatever. But there's a movie I was in Collision Earth with Eric Roberts
Yeah.
and all of the conversation, all the dialogue was military jargon, right? Blah 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 blah, Vector 6, blah 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 blah, right? And I'm like, oh my God, like I can't memorize any of the shit, so I lost a lot of lines. I only got 2 lines in the movie, which I'm very happy with. I'm like, I didn't need a big role. It was my birthday. I was just happy to be there, you know. So, they didn't even know it was my birthday, you know. So, anywho, I watch all these movies now, and all the movies are um all the movies are what is it? like military jargon, you know, right? And that's all
Yeah.
it is. It's not just that one movie. I thought it was that one movie. Like you watch another one, all of a sudden everybody's talking military shit all the time. Like it's nothing but military people. I'm just like, this is getting boring, you know? Like this isn't fun anymore. Like, you know, one movie that is perfect with the military that they did a great job in was 100 million BC or whatever,
Oh, I know the movie you mean, but I've
or
never seen it.
10,000, 100 million BC.
It was
Um,
a rip off of, I mean, obviously it's a Silent, but
so
of a studio movie. I think that was called 10,000 BC or something, and
the
they did
original
some
was called 10,000. I
stuff,
think they called it like 1 million BC or something.
something like that.
Yeah, and it was so bad in a good way, in a fun way. You know, the way that sci-fi movie made for sci-fi movie should be. And this was a made for
Exactly.
this felt like a made for sci-fi Lamprey movie, you know. So I like that, you know, and I had a like this one I had a fun time. Nobody was talking things I couldn't understand, you know. Everybody, you know, like I said, it felt like Sharknado, where all of a sudden this guy who was the wildlife guy had to stop, the town. What I liked about it was the fucking mayor fired him, right? You don't never see that. You never see that scene, like a scene like that. Like in Jaws, the mayor didn't fire Chief Brody, you know, or whatever, get him fired. He, you know, um, I don't know if he could have. I don't know if the mayor could. 'Cause like the mayor in this, they said he couldn't, and then he talked to his boss and got him fired or whatever. And the guy was like, "Okay, fine. Have fun, enjoy, getting murdered." Like he was not doing anything but trying to help the town, and the mayor
Exactly.
all he cared about was money, and that was Jaws. You know,
Yep. It's basically Jaws with lampreys, and I love it.
I know. I wanted them to say something like, "You're gonna ignore this particular problem until it swims up and bites you in the ass."
Ah, that would have been great, which it does.
Right. You know,
That would have
which
been perfect. I didn't even think of that.
I didn't think about that either till just now. Like that would have been fantastic. I would have loved that. Like, why didn't they have that line in there? Especially if they're gonna rip off, they don't even
Yeah.
have like, because this is a Jaws, I'm not want to say rip off because it's not a shark or anything.
It has, it's inspired by Jaws.
Well, I mean, I've watched a lot of Jaws, stuff, and so a lot of times it's like Jaws on a golf course, like Blades, right? And that was obviously a parody,
Yeah.
of Jaws, right? Very funny, very silly, very goofy,
Oh,
but
I
fun.
love Blood. I
Yeah,
think we reviewed that together, didn't we?
I think so. Because I think I was gonna have Rebecca on it because it's an 80s. And
Yeah, I
then
think I was there
I
because I
think you
remember
were
watching
there.
it recently, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I forget how good this was."
Yeah.
Yes,
And
Jaws parodies.
so apparently I keep getting you for, and that was not planned because I had not seen this
Oh,
movie. I don't know if I've ever seen the movie. I knew of it, right? Because like even I told you, I didn't know Asylum did it, right? And they don't start
yeah,
off saying the Asylum, so I had no idea.
they
So
don't. But
right,
I remember the DVD art. When you see DVD art from the Asylum, you know it's the Asylum.
especially if
They
you
just
see
have,
like their covers look
yep,
like Asylum and
exactly.
stuff. But James Cullen Bressick, did you know he was like 22 when he made this?
No,
So he was born in 1992. This movie came out in 2014. So do the math there, as I did. It was 2012, or what, 2000, yeah, 2012 he would have been 20. And then, 2000, yeah, so he was 22. So he was about 21, 22 when he made this movie, depending on when they actually started shooting. Usually, the Asylum takes about 3 months and they're done. You know, they shoot it in 10 days. They they go into
yeah,
post-production and they're out like in 3 month's. They're a well-oiled machine, you know. which is great, is what exactly what they need to be. The writing was pretty damn good for normal asylum kind of stuff. The people who did it, I believe they went on to do like Lifetime stuff, if I'm right. And I'm like,
Sounds about
yeah, that sounds right for these for this particular movie, for the writing. I know because Anna Rasmussen, woman who wrote it. Oh, oh, so she's a development executive at um Asylum. I don't know what that means. What would that mean? Development executive. She
I don't
develops
know.
all of the projects? That's that sounds like a producer job, right? I
Yeah,
development coordinator. That's what she was also for a bunch of these for Zombies. I got to do that at some point.
I love Zombies.
That's
I
got to
love
be
Zombies 1 and 2. I don't know why they haven't made a third. They're
which
so much
one?
fun.
Zombies 1 and
Zombies
2.
1 and 2. I don't know why they
Weirdly
haven't made a third.
weirdly enough, like I agree with you on that stuff because I was talking to Lauren Parkinson, who was in like the asylum's like Red Riding Hood and stuff,
Uh,
and like their fairy tale the Avengers Grimm movies.
oh yeah.
And they made two Avengers Grimm movies, but they never did a third. And I was like, why don't they do more? Like they should do another one or at least bring Snow White back because if they're gonna put out the as if Disney puts out their Snow White,
It
eventually
would be a good time.
that'll be next year. So Asylum, if you're watching, which David David Michael Att sometimes watches my stuff if I talk about his movies, just to make sure, I guess, and probably not hire me if I give him bad reviews, you know. Um, I met him and he was the nicest guy. I like that
I'm a
kid.
fan. I'd
Yeah.
love another Mega Shark movie too, David. Come on, give me
If
another
you're
Mega Shark.
watching, so
I
wait,
mean,
hold. Okay, so she wrote this, co-wrote this, Blood Lake. She also did Santa Claus, which is like a pet movie, you know, like or it's like a Santa cat movie.
oh,
Um,
okay.
then she did a TV movie called hashtag Follow Friday, which looks like a horror kind of thing. Jurassic School, which is a TV or a movie, but like it looks cartoonish, very silly. Mommy Would Never Hurt You, which I think is a Lifetime movie. Christmas in Vienna, which is a Lifetime movie, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was gonna
Um,
say.
The Christmas Sitters, Tales of a Fifth Grade Robin Hood, English Estate, Shark Side of the Moon. She co-wrote
Oh
that.
shit. Yeah,
Or wrote that. I
I've
don't know
seen
if she
that one.
co. Did you? So let's
Yeah,
see.
I enjoyed it.
A guy named Ryan Ebert co-wrote it with him. He's not related to Roger Ebert, is he? All right. So then, Shark Side of the Moon, The Little Mermaid, cartoon, which was that Asylum? Yeah, that was Asylum. I did not know they did a Little Mermaid, cartoon in 2023.
I didn't either.
Can you do that? Like doing a live action one's different, but like literally doing a cartoon of the Little Mermaid, even though like it's still just a Hans Christian Andersen story, that's that's a little pushing it with Disney. I don't know. I guess they have like a billion lawyers, so I think they're
Oh, I
good.
know.
They're good. 12 Games of Christmas, and that was the last one. And she made that one with Anthony C. Ferrante. So,
Oh
yeah.
shit.
Well, she wrote it and he directed it. So that goes back to Sharknado. She was one of the executive development people for Sharknado too. So it was the first one. All right. So the other woman who wrote it, Delandra Mesa. What has she done? Yeah, check this out. So as far as I'm only doing writing because she might have other stuff. So she was the writer or one of the writers of Rise of the Zombies. She's co-writer of Rise of the Zombies with Danny Trejo. I don't know if you ever saw
Uh-huh.
that one.
I've heard of that. I've never seen it.
She did a movie called Social Nightmare with Daryl Hannah and Kristen what? Kristen Prout? I don't know that name. Alligator Alley. Ooh, what is this?
Now that sounds like something I should have watched by now, and I've heard of it. Definitely.
Oh, okay, this was Kenneth Badish. So this was Griff First. It was also called Raging Cajun Redneck Gators. I like that title a lot better than Alligator Alley.
But why?
It just sounds cooler. I don't know. Zombie Night. Also, was that also
I've seen Zombie Night.
that's Anthony Michael Hall and Alan Ruck and Daryl Hannah. Oh my God. Really? Who's in it? I mean, who? Okay, so it's on
Directed
Tubi.
Zombie Night.
What?
Who directed Zombie Night?
John Gulager. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
the
okay, yeah.
Feast guy. The guy who did
Yep.
Feast.
Because I remember I think I have a Blu-ray of that around. I knew it
Yeah.
was like someone I knew who directed it.
Yeah. I'm actually,
I knew
I think
personally,
I'm
but yeah.
Facebook friends with him or was. I don't know if I
I
still am.
was. I don't know. I don't feel like he's on Facebook anymore, or he unfriended me too.
But yeah, because I haven't seen anything from him. She did a movie called Status Unknown. Snow Globe Christmas. Sounds lifetimey.
Yeah,
Bound. I think additional writing of that. Isn't that the movie? Yeah, Jared Cohn did. The Wrong Boyfriend, Night of the Wild, Breakup Nightmare, The Other Wife, Elvis Lives, TV movie, Dream House Nightmare. I remember that. Wait, who's in that? Okay, maybe they don't. Nobody famous is in it. Nobody I know often. Oh, Sherry Eakin's in it, and I know her, but she has a small part in it, so it's probably where I heard of the movie. Blood Brothers. She was one of the staff writers on Z Nation, which is Asylum. Black
yeah.
Summer, which is also Asylum. Winter and Vale. You know what? Asylum did do like Lifetime stuff, so these might
Yeah,
be. Let me guess. This was produced by Paul Bales and David Michael. Yep. Okay. So all of these like Lifetime movies that they've been doing is with
basically Asylum.
Lacey Chabert or Chabert, however you say her name. She's in it. Step Up, High Water, American Rust, and Pretty Little Liars, Original Sin. She
Oh
wrote
shit,
the chapter 16 Hell House episode.
that's
So
cool.
well, she's now getting bigger stuff, I guess. A good job, Delandra.
Yeah,
Um, she also wrote Grindel, which is a TV series that's coming out. Is that by the Asylum? I don't think so. No, that sounds cool. Um, I like that they did TV shows for like sci-fi. I feel like they don't do that anymore. And
no, I don't. So
I feel like that's because sci-fi has changed dramatically. Like it's not the sci
unfortunately,
they rebranded themselves a little bit, right?
yeah, and they're basically, from what I hear, the Harry Potter network. I don't
Ew.
have Sci-Fi Channel, but I know I don't see like anything from them. Like they were so into creature features. Growing up, I was movies like Sabretooth and
Well,
Two-Headed Attack and all this cool stuff. I loved it, and now I don't hear anything about Sci-Fi Channel.
I think it's
I think after
because
Sharknado,
well, that's funny because Sharknado was the one that pretty much put them back on the map again, you know? Like
exactly.
it should have
I
been
think
that
after the sixth one, they did
stop.
that. What was that movie? I still haven't seen it because I can't find a way to watch it. Letters for Satan, and they did
Letters
Zombie
for
Headway,
Satan.
which I saw. Yeah, Letters for Satan. because it was like Santa, but it was like Satan. I believe that was the title.
But like it was Santa, but it was like
Yeah, Satan.
Satan, like the
Satan.
like
Like
the
like
devil.
the devil. Yes.
Wow. Letters for Santa, or Satan. That sounds, I mean, I would watch that. I
And the
watched
trailer was great. I
Satan's
never found a way to watch it,
I watched Satan's Little Killer or Little Helper.
which is a great movie.
No, it wasn't.
You don't like it?
It's okay. It's not the greatest, like it's got some parts I like, but like
It's a,
there were some things I did not like about that movie and everything. And I think
it's
that
been years since I've seen it, but I liked it.
there was one particular thing I really hated, like a animal death or something, like a cat death or something. That was like I feel like they just did that for shock value, and like that kind of stuff like doesn't fly with me. That's why I like this movie, because Scooter lived, you know,
Yes.
which I was like, what the fuck? Come on. I like, 'cause at one point, Scooter, this dog that's in the movie, we are sort of talking about the movie, but we're not like giving the full plot, or anything. But like, the kid, the son of Shannon Doherty
I think his
and
name's
Jason
Kyle.
Brooks, Kyle, yeah, and he is he's like this loner kind of doofy kid, or whatever, and he sees his sister making out with her new boyfriend in the lake, and all of a sudden, which looked like a beach, like it didn't even look like a lake.
It looked like a beach.
Yeah, it looked like
So this takes place in Michigan, so they talk about like all the lakes and stuff. So I'm pretty sure they're at a lake.
all right. They were at a lake, but I don't think they filmed in Michigan. I think they probably
Oh,
filmed
they
in
may not
California.
have. I'm just talking in terms of the movie.
So it's supposed to be a lake, but I think it
Yeah,
was a I
the whole opening credit says, "Oh, Michigan, lakes." I'm like, okay, we
oh
get it.
yeah, we get it. There's
I was
lakes.
just in Michigan. I know you guys got lakes.
Oh, were you just in Michigan? That's funny.
I was, yeah. Just fast
Oh,
watch.
first horror movie to air on the Animal Planet, by the way.
Really? I
That's
didn't
what
know that.
Yep.
I think I did know that
I think I did know that
back when I
too.
first watched it.
I think when I first heard about it online or something, because this is 2013, 14. So I was 2014. I bet James Collins Bresic, who was friends with me on Facebook, I don't know if he is anymore, if he's even on Facebook, but he posted about it or whatever, and you see it on
Yeah,
Animal Planet. I forgot about that. Um,
so did I.
yeah, so all water scenes filmed at Santa Fe Dam in Irwindale, California. So yeah,
There you
uh,
go.
Santa Fe Dam. Um, well, it makes sense because there's that dam, in the
Yeah,
movie or
and they
whatever.
talk about that damn a lot.
I know, and they had to go and electrocute all the lampreys there. Um, so like the kid is looking at the lake, and he's like, seeing his whatever, and then this dog comes up, and he's like, oh, right, being very friendly to the dog, and then he starts doing the Jaws scene, which, by the way, for the longest time I thought the dog's name was Rip It, you know, right? Like, come here, Rip
Yeah,
It, come here, Rip It, right? It was Tippet. Did you know that?
I only knew that because of subtitles.
That's what I found when I watched it the other day. I was watching it on. That's a little embarrassing. All right. I was watching it on like Paramount. No, it's Peacock because it's Universal. So I was watching Jaws, and I put it on the subtitles because I'm like, yeah, I can watch the subtitles. Turns out that the subtitles said Tippet, and I was like, it doesn't sound like he's saying Tippet. Maybe the
No,
subtitles are wrong. You know. I
no,
thought,
that's it.
is that really the name of the dog? Hold
That's what
on.
I've that's what
Hold
I've
on.
heard.
Let's find out.
Jaws.
What's the name of the dog in
Jaws.
Jaws? Keep talking about Jaws. Everything comes back to Jaws.
Well, because
Pippet,
it's one of the greatest
Pippet,
movies of all time.
Pippet. It's not even Tippet. It's Pipit. The dog in the 1975 Steven Spielberg film is named Pippet, a black Labrador retriever. Pippet was born in 1969 and raised, uh, yeah, dang. Stephen Potter, the Potter's teenage son, played Pippet's owner in the scene. So that really was Pippet's owner that let his dog go get killed by the shark. Well, we never see it, so but I'm assuming.
Yeah. So it's left to the imagination at least.
Which a lot of Jaws was left to imagination, you know.
Yeah.
Um, in
Which
fact,
one?
I was rewatching that movie, and there's a scene where Charlie is swimming away from the shark when the thing got, the I guess he get fell into the water because whatever. Anyway, this guy Charlie like swim, Charlie, swim. And he starts swimming, but then he starts grabbing onto something, and I'm like, what is going on? Like this is weird. Like shot, you know? And I found out later that it was shot day for night, you know?
Oh,
Or
I didn't
whatever,
know.
night for day, because they actually shot
Yeah,
during the
yeah.
day. They shot during the day and it looks like night, you know? It's weird. Um, but if you look at it, it does look a little different than most of the other scenes in the movie, and now see why. But anyway, Pippet. So this one didn't have a name, but he scooted on his butt, so the kid called him Scooter. Now,
Yeah.
my only big problem with all of this stuff, I mean, and I guess I can choke it up too, it's just a movie, so it doesn't really matter. But, the kid kind of adopts the dog, even though we saw that the dog's owner died, right? They don't know that, they just see this dog. And then by the end of the movie, when the dog actually is alive and runs
He's like,
out,
oh, Scooter,
and then
you're
Scooter's
mine now.
here, like, and then the dad's like, bring Scooter in here. And I'm like, wait, what? That seems very like I don't think most dads would just be like, let's just have a dog, you know? And
After everything we've been through, fuck it. Let's have the dog.
I would imagine maybe that's the case, but my only problem with that, thinking about it, is that like they never like he's only mentioned the dog to the mom and that I've seen, you know? So I'm like,
I
how did
don't think
the
I ever
dad
made that deep a connection with it.
well, there's that, and then there's the other problem I have with the movie is there are scenes, and I don't know if this is just like budgetary things or whatever, but there are scenes literally where you don't see a person for a while, and then they're somewhere else. Like, and it happens a lot with Shannon Doherty. Like you don't see her with the daughter, and then the daughter goes in the house, and then she's in the bathroom. I'm like, how did that happen? Like, right? So then she's out of the bathroom. She's on the beach now. Like, I feel like we should have a scene where she leaves the house and then goes to the beach. Like, there should be a an extra scene where we see that, because now my eyes are my like brain is going, wait, how does she magically get teleported over there? Like, what is going on? And it confuses me a bit. I might be the
I had
only
a
one.
10-minute walking scene between shots.
What? Yeah,
We could add
something.
a 10-minute
Well,
walk scene
no, no, no. I know
to
where you're
show
going
where
with
they're
that.
going. And
I,
sorry, I'm being a
and then
jerk.
have them go to a video store and walk around and talk about the
Yes.
movies that are there at the video store. No, I'm talking about. I'm just saying.
No, I know. I just had to be a jerk.
I know, but like I know, and it's funny because yeah, we make fun of movies like that do stuff like that. But then again, I would rather see something where we see them going someplace or doing something as opposed to just showing up there, because it confuses me. Like it's just like I feel like we need a couple shots or something, because it's like, why? How did the mother get into the shower? And why? Why was she even in there? I mean, I guess to avoid the things, but like we don't even get a scene where she walks into the bathroom, sees all of them, and then locks herself in there. and that might be an editing thing, or that might also be a choice by the writing. It might have been a writing thing where they were
It
just
could be
like,
either one.
yeah, they were just like, let's
An
just
editor might have been like, "Oh, we don't need this. We don't need that. They'll figure it out."
right. It's just
To cut for time. Or
mm,
it might have been, "Hey, we didn't get the coverage for this. We'll just go with it."
yeah. Oh well. It doesn't really matter in the long scheme of things because it didn't ruin my movie experience for me, at all. I mean, I enjoyed the movie as a whole. Like I thought
It's all fun.
it was so fun, and it just brought me back to days of like the Jaws sequels and
Yeah.
things, and
It's a
whatnot.
great creature feature.
And I love Zach Ward. Um,
Zach Ward's always great. And he's great in this movie.
I
I think everyone did a good job.
I, I thought he did a great job in this movie, except
Yeah.
I didn't think he. What was the point of him sacrificing himself? Like that came out of
That was
nowhere.
all stupid, but hey, whatever.
That's a trope that gets used a lot in movies where the and I just saw it. We reviewed what was it? Yeah, just so you had already talked about it, so it's fine. But we reviewed my friend Stephanie and I reviewed Curse of was it Legend of Halloween Jack. And in that movie, the guy's like, I'm gonna sacrifice myself, and it just comes out of nowhere. It's like, really, you don't need to do that. You can literally, like, you know, you can
There's
literally,
always some big tough person who's like, "Oh yeah, 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 okay."
yeah, no, literally, he could have just lit the place on fire with the guy in there, and it would have done the
I
same
feel
exact.
like that's a funny trope that I kind of enjoy.
Do you? I don't.
A
I
little
kind of,
bit.
I
I think
kind of
it's
get
so
sick of it
stupid.
a little
I
bit.
get it, but brings me back to what? Independence Day.
Yeah, but that it made sense, you
It
know?
doesn't
What?
it doesn't always have to make sense. It's just stupid fun. I don't know, it doesn't bother me. I wouldn't say I enjoy it, I guess, but it doesn't bother me.
It sounded like you were enjoying it 'cause you said it reminded you of Independence Day, which is a great movie. Well, I mean, it's a fun
Independence Day is
movie.
a great movie.
It's a fun movie.
It's a great fun movie. What but it's been years since I've seen it, so
Yeah, I should have watched it
what you think
on.
of that, I don't know.
I should have watched it on 4th of July, and I didn't.
Oh, there's Jaws and Uncle Sam, which are both superior, so it's okay.
What did I put a whole bunch of ones down on my Blu-ray Hunter um thing here of uh all the different 4th of July movies. Okay, like Jaws, yes, of course. Independence Day, Yankee Doodle Dandy. It's not a horror film or anything, like, whatever. But
Never seen.
you never seen it?
No.
I actually saw it because I own like the Warner Archives, and it's like one of my mom's favorite kind of movies, and stuff like that. And Paul Presenta hates it. It's like his kryptonite. He said if there ever was a hell, they'd be playing that like for eternity
Well, that
on
makes me
him.
want to watch it.
Yeah, you might actually like it. If you like James Cagney, it's cute. I liked it. Um, so I Know What You Did Last Summer, or
Of course.
Born on the 4th of July, which I don't think was actually took place on 4th of July, but I know
I don't think I've actually ever seen that movie, but I probably should.
Forrest Gump has 4th of July in it, and Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam.
Um, He Wants You Dead. A terrible
That's a great.
movie. Terrible, but
Hate
fun.
it?
No, it's terrible. It's a bad
Oh,
movie.
it's wonderful in
It's
every way.
and this coming from the woman who loves was it the Mark Polonia movies, which are fun.
Some some of them.
Some of them, I mean, and whatnot, but like, and I get like the stuff that you like really really love,
Yeah.
like when it comes to down to like movies where it's backyard filmmaking at its finest, Chris
Yeah.
Seaver and Mark Polonia and these guys who just go around, Todd Sheets, they just went out and made movies, in
Yeah,
their backyard with their friends and
great
whatnot.
stuff.
Todd, Jason Cook, people like that. And James Cullen Bressick started that way too, and stuff. And then he worked his way up and got, something like this. And now he's working with like Jean-Claude Van Damme and Mel Gibson. I don't like it just baffles my mind, but I'm like, he's doing something, man. He is a really good networker. His father, I think, worked in cartoons and stuff, and he's been just using his, abilities and working hard. And he worked with Zach Ward. Like I don't think they produced this, but he produced and directed movies with Zach. Zach didn't direct them, but they worked on movies together, countless movies. So I love that. And I thought, like I said, I thought Zach did a great job. Considering I think Zach does everything he can these days to sort of not be Scott Farkus anymore. Like not,
Yeah,
get a role that's not that. So like when you watch this movie, he's like the furthest from that you can imagine, you know? But I liked him in it. I thought he did a
he's great.
fantastic, yeah, he did a fantastic job, and I really enjoyed uh checking him out in this stuff. I thought he was fun. Once again, it was great to see Shannon Doherty. Like I think
Yeah, I hadn't seen her in anything
I
in a
wish her
while. I forgot she was in this.
I wish her part were bigger.
Yeah,
Um, I did work with her on one of the Lifetime movies, on the breast cancer bucket list movie. Which became List of a Lifetime. She was in it, and I was in a scene with her, and I didn't even recognize her, and everything. So, and then probably a good thing because I would have freaked out probably and had like a fan moment. And I'm like, not the greatest thing to do. Like I worked with
yeah,
her and I was in a scene with Vanessa Williams in another movie. I think we talked about that before. Um,
probably.
the girl from Candyman and Melrose Place. And then I was in a scene with what's the girl's name? She's been in a bunch of stuff and she's actually I think she's married to um like Seth Green, I want to say. Claire Grant.
Okay,
I worked with her. I was in a scene. So that was the first Lifetime movie I worked on. It was called Lethal Love Letter, and I was in a scene, and I was talking to somebody. I don't think it was Jackie. I think Jackie was there, but I was talking to somebody, and blah 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 blah. And I had my face was whatever, and I could see the girl, and I was like, she looks familiar, like I know her from somewhere, but I didn't know her offhand, so I just left it alone, you know. Right? And plus, she was a star, I don't bother stars, you know?
no,
Like unless they come talk to me, I don't talk to them, because I don't wanna like get kicked off the set, or whatever, that's how you're supposed to be. Because there are some people, I've heard stories where this one guy tried to talk to Thora Birch on a set of a movie, and she almost had him like thrown off because he was, rude and stuff to her, and stuff, saying some like nasty things. So I can't imagine doing something like that, like
no,
you know, um, just be nice. If I knew if I had recognized her completely and been like, oh man, that's Claire Grant, I would have just been like, that's cool. I'm in a movie with Claire Grant.
exactly. That's how
That's
you
how it,
should.
that's how I would have been like, because and maybe one day I'll direct her, but for now I'm just happy. Oh, that's cool. If she came up and talked to me for some reason or whatever, I would be nice and wouldn't tell her I can't talk to you. You're too famous. You know, Shannon Doherty the same way. I would if she came talk to me for a second, I would talk to her. Then I would have said, "I loved you in Mallrats," and be okay.
Yeah,
You know, um, 'Cause everybody else would say 90210 or Charmed or
yeah,
whatever. I would have been like, "I love you in Mallrats. I gotta go," because I would have been too like starstruck at that time. So it's a good thing that I didn't recognize her at all. No, I don't know. I'm weird. I'm weird when it comes to that stuff because if I recognize the person, I'm like, oh my God, that's, you know,
Yeah, that's nerve-wracking.
I know. It's like, oh my God, there's a big celebrity. Because I mean, all these Lifetime movies, there are big celebrities, you know, that show up, you know, for a, you know, be the lead of it usually. So anyway, um, so yeah, we basically not talked about the movie much. So talked about other stuff. I was, you know, I mean, I don't know what else there is to say about this
I want
flick.
to say that I like the sister's boyfriend. I think it's
Dude,
cool. He's not a douchebag, and he's like legitimately, genuinely like good guy. Even like when Nicole's talking about her brother, and she's like, "Oh, he has no friends," and he's like, "I'll be his friend." I feel like he was being serious. Like he's
uh,
genuinely a good dude, and I like that. I like that he wasn't like a douchebag and wanted to die. You know what I mean?
there got to
I
be
like his character.
there got to be one point, right, where I thought he might go douchebaggy, you know? And that was when the character Miss Ellen, you know, who's hitting on
Yeah.
the
Yep.
father at first, and then she calls him over to the pool or says, you know, can you help fix my pool, whatever, right? And stuff. And then uh but there was some kind of like when she was calling him up, there was some kind of like weird, like it sounded like she was like, I'll be over later, you know, right? And he was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, either this guy's an idiot and doesn't know, like, or she's like hitting on him and I don't know, like, I can't tell.
She's hitting on everyone, so
Yeah, and that's what I was like thinking. He's underage, dude. He's like
yeah.
16 or something, you know? Like, he's supposed to be, I guess, I'd imagine. Because if they're 18, the daughter wouldn't have had to listen to the father or whatever. It could have been like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm 18, I can make up my own decisions. But since she was probably underage, both of them were, and they looked like kids, which was good because not
Yeah.
many,
Part.
most of the time it looks like 30-year-olds playing teenagers, and
Exactly.
because it is. But in this case, it looked like if they were above teenager, which they might have been, they didn't look like it, you know. So I was very, very
Yeah, they
happy.
both did their part well. And Kyle, the actor who played him, was great. He hasn't been in anything else, but he looks so familiar. I think he just reminds me of someone. He was in like one other movie that I hadn't seen. But
Let me see.
yeah,
Yeah, that's right. And his name was Kusha Yar. Such a no,
yeah,
that's the kid. That's the kid. No, that's the child. That's Kyle. What was the other
yeah.
one? What was
I don't remember his name.
Okay, yeah. Um Kyle, so the kid, you said you liked him and he was in one other movie.
Yeah, like the younger kid. He looked like someone I know, but I don't even know who it was.
Alex, right? Wasn't his name Alex? The
Yeah, Alex was the boyfriend
the
because
boyfriend.
what the father kept screwing up his name or whatever. Kind of
Yeah.
a running
Either
joke.
that was a like a mistake or they literally just did that for fun. Um,
Oh, sure was for fun.
whoa, he was in Treasure Chest of Horrors too. The boyfriend. That was like the M. Kelly and Sean C. Phillips
Oh,
project. Wow. But James Cullen Bressick was in that, so maybe they're friends, you know. He was also in Sadistic Eroticism, with directed by Alex Powers. He was in a movie called Cut, and I think I seen it or have it. Yeah, David Roundtree directed this movie, and Gabrielle Stone. That's why. Okay, Gabrielle Stone's in it, so that's how I know that movie. Um, and then he was in Blood Lake, and then he's been in Ultraman X. So he was in some Ultraman movie, which are kind of like Power Rangers. So that's
yeah.
kind of funny. Um, and then we forgot to mention Fred Stoller played Rich, which was the guy in the beginning that was making all the jokes, and it felt really weird, you know, to
Hmm.
me. Like, why is that guy making lamprey jokes and stuff? Like lampricide and blah blah blah, you know. Then I found out he's the guy in Dumb and Dumber who,
Oh,
if you've seen that movie, you see the part where the Mike Starr is in the the phone booth talking on the phone, and there's this guy outside going, "Get off the phone, get off the phone," and everything.
Yeah, I remember.
And then what's his name punches him through the glass or whatever, knocks him out and stuff. That was him. And then also Rachel True. I forgot to mention that. So not only was there a girl from Charmed in the movie, but there was a girl from The Craft. There's two witchy people,
That I didn't realize.
You didn't realize Rachel True was in The Craft?
I didn't realize.
You didn't realize that was Rachel True?
No,
When I saw her name pop up in the credits, I got super excited. I'm like, oh
I
fuck.
must have missed her name in the credits, and I didn't
We just
even.
re-reviewed that movie.
I know that's what makes it sad.
We just reviewed that movie. And yeah, so she was the one of the wildlife girls or whatever, the
I
girl who
don't know how
gets
I didn't recognize
eaten
her.
by, yeah, she got eaten by all the lampreys inside the
Yeah,
truck or whatever, and Zach Ward wanted to save her, but the Michael was like, nope, don't do it, don't try to get over there, you're gonna die
right.
too. So they actually make good decisions in this movie, you know like, other than the mayor making this terrible decision, but like the
Well,
mayor
yeah,
the mayor did that, which was actually something I've never seen before. Like I said, like I've never seen a mayor say, "Oh, you're fired," right? Like he's Donald Trump or something. Like, "You're
yeah,
fired," you can't work here anymore. And he's like, "Fine, good luck." You're gonna need me, but and that's why Zach Ward's like, "Hey, we need you." Fuck whatever the mayor says, because he's just, he's gonna die. There's even that line in Jaws. Because I just watched it the other day, so I've got this on my brain. There's that line in Jaws where he's like, um, you know, uh, if you let the people in the water, you're just lining up a smorgasbord for these,
yeah,
you know, things. You're just ringing the dinner bell,
yeah.
right? And that's exactly what the Michael is trying to tell the guys, like, look, I don't care if people are leaving, people need to leave. Nobody is safe here, in this town. Um, so yeah, I kind of agree. Like, I like that. And I like that the fact that, you know, you would think, because you would think to yourself, okay, if the Lampreys are just attacking everybody, why wouldn't the family just leave, right, and go to the airport and never, right? And the father can, right? And then there has to be a reason. Well, they all split up, you know.
Yeah.
The mother can't find the daughter, so she goes looking for him while the son goes off on his own and goes up in the attic or whatever to get away from the Lampreys. So I liked all of that.
Oh, me too. And I love that the lampreys are just everywhere, anywhere pipes are, whatever. They're everywhere, so they're
Anywhere
hard to contain.
water can be,
Yeah,
right? Which
I like how that
I
works
I
out.
I don't know. Have we ever seen? I mean, is lampreys ever on land? They're always trying to get back in water, right? Like they can't really survive in the land, you know. But anyway, they died by electrocution at the end, which I thought was kind of silly. The way that
It
they
is, but
did
it
it.
works.
I mean, it was the only way to do. But plus, was that? I mean, we find out later there's a big thing at the end.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was supposed to be a lamprey or like a H HP Lovecraft thing at
I
the
think it was.
end, but
I think it was a lamprey,
like
but
a
who
big
knows?
lamprey or something,
Yeah,
a mega lamprey. Maybe that was gonna be their next movie,
bad
Attack
they
of the
never made a
Mega.
sequel.
I kind of, the way after I watched it, do you know how I wish it ended? I wish it ended with them. Maybe it could have ended with them getting Scooter, right? And then them going back to their old town or whatever, you know, and then the lampreys still attack. Like there's
Yeah,
more lampreys still out there, and they're just coming through the water main and other stuff. So like they think, oh man, everything's just fine because we're in a place with no lake, and they're
doesn't
not
matter.
fine. Doesn't
Lampreys
matter.
everywhere.
Yeah, and that could be like the end of the movie where it's
Yeah,
like Virginia lampreys, Michigan lampreys, California lampreys everywhere. Like all of a sudden,
that would have been
all
cool.
all 50 states are attacked. I don't know how that would be a good setup for a sequel where like they have to figure out how to destroy all the lampreys everywhere, and stuff. But that might be a little bit too much of a budget, I guess. I don't know. Um, because also, yeah. Um, I don't know. I honestly, I thought it was fun. It was enjoyable.
Great
Um,
movie. Fun.
it felt like sci-fi, being sci-fi.
It
Like
felt
it
like golden age sci-fi.
does. It feels like that,
What?
which I enjoy. I feel like sci-fi's in the dark ages now. However, you were saying that they're not on Sci-Fi Channel anymore, or whatever. The Asylum's not on Sci-Fi Channel anymore. They're on Tubi. They do a
Yep.
lot of those Tubi
Asylum and
originals.
Tubi are teaming up, so that's cool.
So yeah, so now Asylum had to leave Sci-Fi because Sci-Fi is not Sci-Fi anymore, and now, Asylum's with Tubi, and like I said, I feel like they're just lacking on the fun, and I hope that they start getting back to this. I think if they relook back at some of their old work, which they probably won't, because I think they're doing what's making them, money, like if you put a shark in a movie, put a lamprey in a movie, put anglerfish in a movie, it's gonna, it's
People
gonna
will watch
sell.
it.
People watch it.
They
There's more.
already know people watch shark movies. I don't know why they aren't doing something for Shark Week.
I'm surprised. There usually are. Like I remember when I was at in LA, and my friend Mackenzie worked for the asylum, and she was telling me, "Oh, I gotta go to Florida because it's 2020 and everything was shut down." She was like, "We gotta record a movie and put it out on Sci-Fi for Shark Week." You know, right? Like they it got like too late, and they had to figure out how to do it, so they did it. And it was that movie with Michael Madsen,
Oh
um,
yeah, I think
Shark
Shark.
something, Shark Week? No.
No, I know the movie you mean.
Um,
Like they're like trapped on like some location with a photographer,
yeah, and the Michael Madsen
and
plays like
Michael
the
Madsen's just
father.
on the phone.
Yeah, he's just on the phone with his daughter or whatever. Um, God, Michael Madsen's been in so many movies. Ooh, no, God, he's in a movie called Unbelievable, and he played President Ben Dover. Really, really,
I don't know
Michael
what it
Madsen?
be.
What?
I don't know how to feel about that.
I don't know either. It looks like who made it? Stephen L. Fawcett. Oh, and Snoop Dogg's in it. Good God. Robert Picardo's in it too. Cool. Shark Season. So Shark
Shark Scene.
Season was the movie.
Yes, I
And
enjoyed.
I I enjoyed it because I knew Mackenzie worked her fucking ass off for it, and everything. And
I thought it was
the,
a decent movie,
I
aside from Michael Madsen on the phone looking cooked out or whatever the fuck.
are you saying that Michael Madsen phoned it in?
Yes.
Michael Madsen could have done a good job in this movie if he did. I don't know. Like if you put Michael Madsen in a movie like that, you got to put him as Quint.
Yeah,
Like he's Quint. He's the closest to Quint we're gonna get right now. And so next shark movie that's like Jaws, put Michael Madsen in there. Michael Madsen, Eric Roberts. Eric Roberts can be the I would say the mayor, but I would prefer him as like the sheriff or something. You know, he can be the Brody, you know. So
that'd
we
be
got
cool.
okay, let's do this and then we'll end it, okay? Let's give our B movie Jaws ripoff cast like thing. So, okay, let's go with the mayor. Who would be a good mayor? Huh. Who's in like we got to think of all the people that are in like asylum movies or just terrible.
Casper Van Dien. Nah, he's more of a
No, he's more of a he'd be more like Brody or something.
Yeah.
Um,
Air?
the mayor might be Eric Roberts, I guess, because he's older.
Dolph Lundgren.
No, Dolph Lundgren's a action hero. You can't put him like that's
Eric
like
Roberts could be a mayor, yes.
yeah, Eric Roberts as the mayor. Oh, because I want him in a bigger part, but it's okay. Mayor Eric Roberts. Then there's Malcolm Madsen as Quint. He's the perfect Quint. You know, probably doesn't even need to act. He can just be Michael Madsen. Um, who would be Brody? So Casper Van Dien.
Casper Van Dien. I
Okay,
need him in this movie.
all right. Casper Van Dien as Brody. Who's Hooper? Who would be like the kind of jokey kind of guy. Let me see. Let me see who's in these movies these days. Um, with the Asylum, because we gotta get Danny Trejo in there somewhere. He can,
Well, yeah, Danny Trejo has to be.
and you can't be those characters. He's got to be like
No,
an opening death or something. You know. Um, let's see. Who's in Blind Waters?
I liked
Nobody.
One Waters.
Nobody big though. Hmm. Transmorphers, Mecha Beasts. Uh, Tom Arnold. No, I don't see him as Hooper though. I love him, but no. Whoa. There was a Butch versus Sundance movie that they did. Bruce Stern's in that one. Jeffrey Combs. Perfect. And
There we go.
he's the perfect Hooper. So that would be a great cast right there. Just those
I'd watch
four.
it.
I'm sure everybody would watch it. It probably costs a little bit more than what the Asylum could probably afford because
We'll make it happen.
they could probably only afford one of the names. But yeah, that would be wonderful. I would love to see that. So to recap on that, Eric Roberts as the mayor, uh Casper Van Dien as the what is it the as Brody. Hooper would be Jeffrey
Jeffrey
Combs,
Combs.
and Quint
Went
is uh,
Michael Matt.
Michael Madsen. There you go. That's like that right there is like bingo for B movie people, like that's the perfect bingo right there. If they're all in a movie together, that's like you got bingo.
That'd be gold.
Right. That would be fantastic. So, if the Asylum is watching this, which, who knows? They're probably worried I'd say something negative or whatever about working with them, and actually I have nothing but nice fucking things to say about working with them. I absolutely loved working on the Asylum project. It's only there for a day, but it was a long day. It's like 12 hours, you know, or so. But it was well worth it. So much fun, you know. So, I hope to work, so hey, put me, I'll direct that movie. I'll direct whatever, or at least write it of a
I'll
Jaws movie. Oh, of course, you'd have to help because you're the shark expert, you know, or whatever. That would be so amazing because that cast right there is just fantastic, you know. And so, hope you guys enjoyed this. Blood Lake, see it on Tubi if you haven't seen it. I think we spoiled it, so watch it
It's
anyway.
a fun movie. Just watch it anyway.
Yeah, watch it anyway, even if you know sort of what happens. It doesn't matter. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Tune in tomorrow. It'll be another episode. With another awesome person. I'm actually keeping this thing where I'm going like girl, guy, girl, guy, girl, guy, right? So that it switches up a little bit. And so far, so good. So
All
as long
right.
as I keep this going, but we got some really fun ones coming, and this is like the beginning of it's the beginning. So I should have done this months ago, which is what I'm going to plan to do next year and start in January because this is absolutely ridiculous. but I have to I have to do a lot more episodes. All right. Everybody, hope you guys enjoyed this. We will see you tomorrow, or I'll see you tomorrow.